The elevator doors hissed open on the penthouse floor. And there he was, Gabriel Hale, the untouchable king of New York's tech empire. His silhouette framed against the floor-to-ceiling windows like a storm cloud over Manhattan. His voice, low and laced with frost, cut through the air as he berated his executive team. Each word a precise incision that left them bleeding egos on the polished marble. I stood frozen in the doorway, my fabricated ID badge burning a hole in my pocket, heart slamming against my ribs like it wanted to escape before he noticed meth stranger about to rewrite his world with a single desperate lie. I'd met him only once before, 6 months ago at a charity gala where his Arctic gaze had dismissed me as irrelevant. A junior analyst from a rival firm not worth the breath to acknowledge. But desperation has a way of forging wild plans. My best friend, Lila, Gabriel's estranged cousin, had whispered his secret over too many whiskeys. He was an omega in a world that worshipped alphas, hiding it behind layers of arrogance to survive the cutthroat boardrooms that devoured vulnerability. Pretend you're his alpha, she'd urged, eyes gleaming with mischief and mercy. Show him he's not alone. So here I was, Alex Rivera, 23-year-old nobody from Queens, stepping into the lion's den with a forged partnership announcement and a prayer that my pounding pulse wouldn't betray me. Gabriel turned then, his blue eyes locking onto mine like twin glaciers. And for a split second, the room's oxygen vanished. Who the hell are you? He demanded, his tone a velvet-wrapped blade, stepping forward until he loomed over me, all 6 feet of tailored menace. The team scattered like leaves in his wake, leaving us in a bubble of charged silence. I swallowed the lump in my throat, forcing a smile that I hoped screamed confidence instead of terror. Alex Rivera, I said, extending a hand that trembled just enough to brush his sleeve. Your alpha and partner. The word hung between us, heavy as the Hudson fog rolling in below. His laugh was a sharp, disbelieving bark, echoing off the glass walls. But beneath it, I caught the flickera tremor in his jaw, the way his pupils dilated like a man staring down a cliff's edge. He didn't pull away when I clasped his hand, didn't shatter the illusion immediately. Instead, he held my gaze, searching, as if my lie was a key he'd long stopped believing in. In that moment, as rain lashed the windows and the city lights blurred into a golden haze, I saw it, the crack in his armor, the heart that trembled not from fear, but from a forbidden spark of hope. That night, we sealed the pretense over a tense dinner at his rooftop terrace, the skyline a glittering witness to our charade. Gabriel picked at his steak, his fork scraping the plate like nails on chalkboard, while I spun tales of our courtship late-night strategy sessions that turned into stolen kisses, whispered promises under Brooklyn bridges. He listened with that signature scowl, but his questions came sharper than expected. Why me? What do you want from this? I leaned in, fabricating devotion with every fiber of my being, describing a fictional us that felt achingly real. Because you're worth the fight, Gabriel, even when you push everyone away. His eyes softened then, just a fraction, and he murmured, no one's ever said that, his voice barely above the wind. It was the first thaw, a whisper of the man buried under years of self-imposed exile. As weeks blurred into a rhythm of fabricated normalcy, I dove deeper into his world. Mornings began with coffee runs to his office, where I'd slide into the chair beside him, our knees brushing under the desk in a way that sent jolts through me electric. Unspoken. He'd grunt acknowledgments at first, but soon, questions turned personal. What's your family like? Alex. I'd spin stories of my abuela's tamales and my sister's endless teasing, painting a life of warmth to contrast his isolation. Gabriel's parents, I'd learned from Lila, had disowned him young, branding his omega nature a family shame in their upscale Connecticut estate. He'd clawed his way to CEO by 25, building Hale Dynamics on sheer will. But the cost was a fortress of solitude. One evening, after a brutal merger negotiation where his rivals sneered at rumors of his softness, we retreated to his loft in Soho. The space was all stark lines and minimalist chrome, a mirror to his soul, beautiful but barren. I convinced him to cook a simple pasta dish from a recipe I'd learned for us. As garlic sizzled and wine flowed, he let slip fragments, a childhood spent hiding scents with suppressants. The terror of his first heat alone in a dorm room at Yale. I thought I'd die, he confessed, staring into his glass, vulnerability cracking his voice. I reached across the island, covering his hand with mine, not as pretense, but as anchor. You survived, and you're stronger for it. Our eyes met, and for the first time, he didn't look away. That night, as thunder rumbled over the East River, he leaned his head on my shoulder, the weight of him a quiet surrender. My lie was weaving truth, thread by fragile thread. But lies have shadows, and Gabriel's began to stir. At an industry gala in the Hamptons, whispers slithered through the crowd, colleagues eyeing our linked arms, speculating on the power couple facade. He played the part flawlessly, his arm possessive around my waist, but tension coiled in his frame like a spring. Midway through, a tipsy venture capitalist cornered us, leering, "Heard Hale's got an Omega secret. That true? Or just boardroom gossip?" Gabriel's face turned to stone, his grip on my elbow bruising. I stepped in, voice steady. "It's true. And it's ours. Back off." The man slunk away, but the damage lingered. In the limo ride back, silence stretched taut until Gabriel exploded. "Why do you care? This is fake. Alex. All of it." His eyes blazed, hurt masquerading as anger. I gripped his chin gently, forcing him to see me. "Is it? Because every time you let me in, it feels real to me." He wrenched free, but not before I saw the tremble, the heart I'd glimpsed that first night, now quaking under the weight of possibility. The fallout from the gala lingered like a bruise, coloring our days with unspoken barbs. Gabriel withdrew, his office doors barred against me, emails curt and clipped. I paced my tiny Queens apartment, staring at the forged documents Lila had procured, partnership papers that now felt like chains. "Give him space," she advised over video call, her face pixelated but kind. "Omegas like Gabe don't trust easy. They've been burned too many times." Space. The word mocked me as I replayed our moments, the way his laughter had bubbled unexpectedly during a late-night movie marathon, rare and bright as summer lightning. The tentative text he'd send at 2 a.m. "Can't sleep. Talk." I'd pour out stories of my own hidden pains coming out to my conservative family at 17. The slammed doors and tear-streaked goodbyes mirroring his isolation without revealing the ruse. A week in, crisis struck. Hale Dynamics faced a hostile takeover bid from a rival firm, led by Victor Lang, an alpha brute with a reputation for crushing weak links. The board convened in emergency session, and I slipped in uninvited, heart in my throat. Gabriel stood at the head of the table, pallid under the fluorescence, his presentation faltering for the first time I'd witnessed. Lang's team smirked from the video feed, their bit a dagger aimed at his legacy. As voices rose in chaos, I caught his eye bleeding, fractured, and something in me snapped. "Enough," I barked, stepping forward, channeling every alpha trope from the novels I devoured for this charade. "Gabriel's vision built this company from nothing. You want to dismantle it." Over my dead body. The room hushed. Even Lang's feed glitched in surprise. Gabriel's gaze locked on mine, gratitude flickering like a candle in gale winds. "We won the day, barrel a thruff, a counter strategy," I sketched on a napkin. blending my data analytics skills with his intuition. Afterward, in the dim conference room, he collapsed into a chair, head in hands. I almost lost everything. He whispered, voice raw. I knelt before him, tilting his chin up. But you didn't. Because you're not alone anymore. Tears welled in his eyes. The first I'd seen. And he surged forward, wrapping arms around me in a fierce hug that stole my breath. Thank you, Alex. God, I don't deserve this. In that embrace, sense mingled his subtle omega warmth cutting through suppressants. Mine a steady alpha calm, and the line between pretend and real blurred into oblivion. Fall deepened over the city, leaves carpeting Central Park in crimson and gold, mirroring the slow burn of our evolving bond. We fell into routines that felt achingly domestic. Weekend hikes in the Palisades where he'd challenge me to races he always won. His competitive fire a bomb to his earlier chill. Quiet evenings at my place, where he'd curl against me on the worn couch, dissecting case studies until dawn. I'd watch him sleep, lashes dark against his cheeks, and wonder how long I could sustain the deception. Lila warned me weekly, he's falling. Alex, for real. Don't break him. But guilt gnawed at me like autumn frost, every tender moment a reminder of the foundation built on sand. The turning point came during Thanksgiving, a holiday I dreaded inviting him to. My family, boisterous and unfiltered in our cramped Astoria home, embraced him like a long-lost son. Abuela plied him with pozole, teasing about grandkids, while my sister Maria grilled him on his alpha protectiveness. Gabriel, usually so guarded, bloomed under their warmth, laughing at my dad's bad jokes, helping with dishes without complaint. As we cleared the table, he pulled me into the pantry, eyes shining. This is what I've missed. Family that sees me, not the label. I cupped his face, thumb brushing a stray tear. They see you, Gabe. And so do with man, not the omega. Our foreheads touched, breaths sinking, and in that stolen breath, I almost confessed. But the words lodged in my throat, fear of shattering us stronger than truth. Winter crept in on heels of that warmth, blanketing the city in snow and secrets. Gabriel's heats were managed with precisions. Isolation but one night. The suppressants faltered. He called me at midnight. Voice erect whisper, Alex. It's bad. Please. I raced through flurries to his loft, finding him curled on the floor, sweat slicked and shaking. No words. I gathered him up, carrying him to bed, holding him through the fevered waves, not as lover, but guardian. He clung to me, murmuring fever dream confessions, always alone. Thought I'd stay that way. Until you. Dawn broke with him spent but serene, nestled against my chest. You're my anchor, he said simply, as if it were fact. My heart ached with the weight of it, love, real and reciprocal, blooming from my lie. Yet shadows lengthened. Victor Lang resurfaced, not with bids, but blackmail, dredging up old photos from Gabriel's Yale days. Blurry evidence of his omega status leaked to tabloids. The headlines screamed, Tech Titan's hidden heat, is Hale Dynamics doomed? Reporters swarmed his building. The board demanded explanations. Gabriel barricaded himself, refusing calls. His texts to me frantic. It's over. Everything crumbles. I fought through the paparazzi gauntlet, pounding on his door until he let me in, disheveled, eyes hollowed by betrayal. They knew. He spat, pacing like a caged wolf. Someone sold me out. And you. You're the only new variable. Accusation hung heavy, his trust fracturing under paranoia. I grabbed his shoulders, desperate. Gabe, listen, I am here. We fight this together. But doubt clouded his gaze, the tremble returning, this time laced with dread. The scandal erupted like a powder keg. Hale Dynamics stock plummeting as investors fled the instability. Gabriel's world contracted to his loft. Blinds drawn against the flashing cameras below. His phone silenced under a pile of unopened mail. I became his lifeline, smuggling groceries and moral support. But each visit chipped at the facade. Why stick around? He'd mutter from the shadows, wrapped in a blanket like a wounded animal. Pity. Or the thrill of slumming it with a broken omega. I'd counter with fierce denials, pulling him into sunlight walks around the block. Disguises be damned sunglasses for him. My arm a shield. Because I see the fire in you. Gabe. The one that built an empire. It's just a storm. Lila joined the fray. Her legal savvy filing injunctions against Lang's smear campaign. Over takeout in his dim living room. She pieced it together. Victor's been gunning for you since Yale. Gabe. That photo. He took it himself, jealousy from a rejected advance. Gabriel's face twisted. Old wounds reopening. He called me weak then. Said alphas like him deserved better. Rage simmered. But so did resolve. By week's end, he emerged from hiding, convening a press conference. I stood off stage, heart in throat, as he faced the wolves. Yes, I'm an omega. And yes, that makes me stronger navigating a world rigged against me to lead this company. Applause thundered. Stock ticked up. But backstage, he crumpled into my arms. I did it for us. He breathed. To prove I'm worthy. The word us pierced me. My deception felt like poison now. Spring thawed the city. Cherry blossoms dusting Washington Square Park where we'd linger on benches. Sketching business plans on napkins. Gabriel softened further. His arrogance melting into quiet confidence, sharing dreams of expanding Hale Dynamics into ethical AI for marginalized communities. Inspired by our talks. You make me want to build something lasting. He'd say, fingers tracing mine. Intimacy grew in layers, a brush of lips during a rain-soaked cab ride home. Tentative and sweet. Nights where he'd read poetry aloud. His voice wrapping around Whitman verses like a caress. I fell harder each day. The lie a thorn in my joy. How could I confess without demolishing the trust we'd forged? The unraveling began subtly, a misplaced email from Lila. Forwarded accidentally. Hinting at our setup. Gabriel found it during a late-night audit. His face ashen when he confronted me at Dawn Coffee. Tell me it's not true. He demanded. Printout trembling in his fist. The loft spun. I sank to the floor. Truth spilling like blood. It started as pretend. Lila asked me to help you feel less alone. But Gabe. It became real. You became real to me. Silence stretched eternal. His eyes storming through betrayal. Grief. Fury. You pitted me. He whispered. Voice cracking. All of it a game. He stormed out. Doors slamming like finality. Leaving me shattered amid the ruins of our shared space. Days blurred into agony. He ghosted me, work emails rerouted. Calls to voicemail epitaphs. Lila mediated. Her updates bleak. He's holed up. Rebuilding walls higher than before. Give him time. But time mocked me. I wandered the city like a specter. Haunts everywhere, our park bench. His favorite bistro. Professional fallout hit too. Whispers at my firm branded me, Hale's puppet. Opportunities drying up. Yet deeper than career sting was the void, Gabriel's absence, a hollow in my chest. His tremble, the echo I craved. Redemption flickered in summer's heatwave. Lang launched his final assault, a lawsuit alleging fraud in Hale's Omega disclosures, aiming to oust Gabriel. The trial loomed in federal court. Brooklyn's stone halls a coliseum. He testified alone at first. Voice steady but eyes haunted. Dismantling Lang's claims with forensic precision. Midway, during a brutal cross-examination where Lang crowed. Admit idiocy unfit. Hiding behind a fake alpha shield. Gabriel faltered, gaze drifting to the gallery where I sat. Uninvited. Our eyes met, mine pleading. His fracturing and he straightened. That shield. It taught me trust. Real or not. It showed me I'm enough. The courtroom murmured. Lang sputtered. Verdict, dismissal. With sanctions on him. Outside. Under relentless sun. He found me on the steps. Why'd you come? He asked. Voice raw. I stepped closer. No pretense left. Because I love you. Gabe. Lie or truth? That part was always real. Tears traced his cheeks, mirroring mine. I hate you for the start. But I need you for the now. His hand found mine. Tentative. Then firm, the tremble returning. Not in fear, but rebirth. Reconciliation unfolded like a hesitant dawn. Slow and streaked with lingering shadows. We met in neutral ground, a quiet cafe in the village, where jazz hummed low and croissants steamed between us. Gabriel arrived wary. Sleeves tugged over knuckles. But he sat, ordering black coffee like armor. No more lies. He stipulated. Eyes searching mine for fractures. I nodded, baring my soul, the terror of that first elevator step. The way his rare smiles had hooked me deeper than any plan. I was scared, too scared of feeling this much. He absorbed it, walls inching down, until his fingers brushed mine across the Tablia bridge rebuilt. Fragile but fervent. Summer wove us tighter. Vacations unplanned, a road trip upstate to the Catskills. Windows down. Radio blasting indie folk that made him sing off-key. Laughter bubbling free. Around campfires. He'd unpack more the Omega Clinic visits in secrecy. The alphas who'd courted him for status. Discarding him like flawed merchandise. You saw the man first. He'd say. Head on my lap under stars. That saved me. I'd weave in my own scars, the street harassment after coming out. The internalized shame that whispered I wasn't alpha enough. Our pains intertwined, forging empathy from embers. Back in the city, Hale Dynamics thrived under his renewed vision, launching Echo, an AI platform amplifying underrepresented voices. Omega Coders at its core. I joined as consultant. Our partnership official now. No forgeries needed. Board meetings became battlegrounds of ideas. His cold precision tempered by my collaborative fire, yielding innovations that turned heads. But home was sanctuary. His loft softened with my touches, plants on sills. Photos of us framed by the window, capturing that first rainy pretense. Autumn brought tests. My family hosted a barbecue, testing Gabriel's place among them. Abuela cornered him with stories of her own hidden loves in 1950s Mexico. Migrating to New York for freedom. We all wear masks. Mijo, she said, patting his cheek. He teared up, confessing to her later about the lie's birth. Her response. A hug and love doesn't care for origins, only endings. Maria pulled me aside. He's good for you. Alex. Softens your edges. Watching him toss a frisbee with my nephews. Wind tousling his hair. I realized the depth he'd thawed my guarded heart too. Yet kinks persisted. Gabriel's heats. Once solitary wars. Now shared vulnerabilities. The first post-confession one hit like a freight train, fever spiking. Instincts clawing for connection. I held him through it in our bed. Cool cloths and murmured affirmations. No demands beyond presence. You're safe. I'd repeat. His body arching against mine in trust. Dawn brought clarity. I used to dread this part of me. Now, it's ours. Intimacy deepened. Not in passion's rush, but quiet unions, kisses that lingered like promises. Hands mapping scars as maps to souls. Winter holidays loomed, fraught with history. His parents' silence since the scandal was a ghost. Mine insisted on inclusion. We flew to Connecticut uninvited. Not for confrontation, but closure. The estate loomed Gothic under snow. His mother answering the door with porcelain poise cracking at his presence. Gabriel. She breathed. Father hovering stern behind. Dinner was a minefield probes about that phase. Dismissals of his omega burden. He held firm. Voice steady. It's not a phase. It's me. And I've built a life without your approval, but I'd like it with. I squeezed his hand under the table. Anchor in the storm. They didn't thaw fully. But a tentative email followed. Proud. In our way. Progress. Bittersweet. Spring 2026 bloomed with Opportunity a Tech Summit in San Francisco, where Gabriel keynote on vulnerability in leadership. Nerves frayed him pre-stage. I rehearsed lines in hotel mirrors, hyping his brilliance. You're the storm and the shelter, I told him, straightening his tie. His talk slayed standing ovation. Offers pouring in. Backstage. Elation spilled. He kissed me fiercely. World fading to us. Couldn't have without you. That night. City lights twinkling below. We talked futures adoption dreams. A home upstate with space for roots. But storms brew eternal. Lang. Undeterred. Surfaced with a vengeance anonymous leaks suggesting I'd manipulated the takeover defense for gain. Tabloids twisted it. Rivera's rise, puppet master, or paramour. Gabriel's trust wavered anew. Late-night arguments echoing. Is this real? Alex. Or another play? I'd bear evidence emails. Alibis begging belief. I chose you over ambition. Every time. Doubt lingered. But love's gravity pulled. He chose investigation over accusation. Hiring PIs to trace Lang's hand. Climax crested in a rainy May evening. Lang cornered us at a fundraiser. Smirking, your little Omega fairy tale ends tonight, check your stocks. Hale's servers crashed. Sabotage clear. Gabriel's face drained. I rallied. We fight smart. Hold in his office. We traced the Breach Me analytics pinpointing Lang's IP. Lila's team pounced with warrants. By midnight, arrests flashed on news tickers. Victor's empire crumbled. His final call to Gabriel a venomous plea. You win. But at what cost? Happiness in chains. Gabe hung up. Turning to me. Freedom. With you. Summer solidified us. Scars fading into strength. We escaped to a vineyard cottage. Waves lapping like lullabies. Where Gabriel proposed not rings, but vows whispered on the beach. Be my always. Alex. No pretenses. Tears mixed with salt spray. I echoed it. Hearts sinking in the tide's rhythm. Back in New York. Life layered richer volunteering at Omega Youth Centers. His stories mentoring kids who'd hidden like he had. You give them what I craved. I'd say. Watching him light up. Echo expanded. Voices amplified. Earning him humanitarian nods. Fall deepened bonds. My promotion at a new firm ethical tech startup meant balance. Weekends free for explorations. Hikes in the Appalachians. Where he'd challenge me to stargazing bets. Losing spectacularly to my abuela-taught constellations. You're my North Star. He'd quip. Pulling me close. Family fused 2 Thanksgiving at ours. His tentative invites to his parents yielding a stiff but present dinner. Progress. His father clapped his back post-meal. Mumbling. Well done, son. Small victories. Monumental in healing. Winter wrapped us in coziness. Heat's now celebrations of trust me preparing nests of blankets. His body yielding not in weakness, but partnership. Post-fever. We'd bake disastrous cookies that tasted of laughter. Teamwork. He'd declare. Flour-dusted nose wrinkling adorably. Dreams surfaced, fostering. Perhaps. Or advocacy travels. A life built. Not survived. He mused one snowy eve. Curled by the fire. Spring 2027 heralded change. Hail Dynamics went public. Shares soaring on Echo's success. Gabriel, ever the visionary, eyed philanthropy full-time. Step back with me, he asked over brunch. Eyes hopeful. I hesitated, career inertia clashing with heart's pull, but chose us. Resigning for a joint venture, a foundation for queer STEM equity. Launch gala buzzed. His speech, raw and riveting, drew tears. From isolation to illumination thanks to love that saw through the cold. Yet undercurrents stirred. Old insecurities nipped his. Fearing abandonment. Mine. Imposter echoes from the lie. Therapy bridged gaps, sessions where he'd voice. I tremble at loss. And I'd affirm. I'm steady for us. Vulnerability's gift, deeper intimacy. Conversations stretching midnight. Souls bared like open books. Summer peaked with Milestonia road trip cross-country. Route 66, dust on our Jeep. Motels neon-lit confessions. In Grand Canyon depths. He knelt. Marry me. Alex. Make forever official. Ring simple silver band etched with tremble together slipped on amid echoes. Yes. I choked. Sealing with a kiss that tasted of canyons and commitment. Fall wedding planning infused joy. Venue, a Brooklyn rooftop garden. Autumn leaves confetti. Families mingled as thawing. Mine exuberant. Vows exchanged under harvest moon. You cracked my ice. Revealed the warmth. I promised to cherish every thaw. Rings exchanged. Cheers erupted. Dance floor our sanctuary. Bodies swaying to slow jazz. Winter honeymoon in the Rockies cabin snowbound. Fires crackling stories. This is legacy, he said, tracing my ring finger. Love that endures. Back home. Life hummed, foundation thriving. Adoptions pondered. Spring brought surprise pregnancy via surrogate. A child on horizon. Ultrasounds awed us, our family. He whispered. Hand on belly cam. Fears surfaced parenting as omegas/alphas and scrutinies, I but resolve steeled, will teach resilience. Summer birth, little Elias. Dark-haired like Gabe. Eyes mine. Hospital room glowed. He cradled our son. Tears free. You gave me this miracle. Fatherhood transformed sleepless nights bonding. Elias's gurgles melting last frosts. Fall marked year one, Elias's first steps toward us. Laughter our symphony. Foundation gala honored us. Gabriel's toast. From arrogance's chill to heart's full, Bloom loves the greatest code. Winter cozied us 3 holidays with extended kin. Elias's wonder at lights. Full circle. Gabe murmured. Babe asleep between. Spring 2029, Elias toddling. Words forming Dadadul. Travels resumed family jaunts to national parks. Teaching earth stewardship. Yet trials tempered joy. Media hounded our fairy tale. Scrutiny on parenting. A tabloid sting alleged neglect. We sued. Winning privacy shields. Public wins. Private peace. Gabe declared. Holding Elias close. Summer crisis. My health scare routine check flagging anomaly. Biopsies tense waits. Gabe's vigil unwavering. Hospital coffee runs. Bedside vigils. Benign verdict brought sobs. Don't scare me like that. He pleaded. Embrace fierce. We're unbreakable. Fall recovery deepened gratitude slow walks reclaiming strength. Elias's hugs healing. Foundation hit milestones, scholarships awarded. Lives changed. Winter holidays sparkled Elias's first snowman. Family photos framed eternal. Spring 2030, Elias's 3rd birthday. Park picnic chaos joyful. Gabe's book deal, memoir, Thawing the Titan. Raw truths inspiring. Summer launch, bestseller status. Tours where he'd credit me, my alpha. My truth. Fans shared stories. Ripples of hope. Fall awards, Gabriel honored for advocacy. Speech dedicating to the pretender who became partner. Winter reflection, cozy nights. Elias bedtime tales of brave hearts. Spring forward, family expanded adopted sibling. Mia, joining fray. Chaos doubled. Love exponential. Yet core remained, us. Trembling together through time's weave. Time's river carried us onward. Years folding like pages in an epic tome. By 2032, Elias at 5 navigated preschool with Gabe's wit and my curiosity. Mia at 2 a whirlwind of curls and questions. Our Brooklyn brownstone buzzed foundation offices downstairs. Home above a haven of crayon walls and laughter echoes. Gabriel's memoir spawned a movement, Omega Leadership Summits. Where he'd keynote. Voice resonant, cold was survival. Warmth. Revolution. Summer that year scorched. But we escaped to Maine coast. Lobster boils and lighthouse climbs. Elias collected seashells like treasures. Mia chased waves giggling. Evenings. Kids abed. Gabe and I on porch swings. Remember that elevator? He'd tease. Hand in mine. Thought you were insane. I'd counter. And you were ice incarnate. Laughter bridged then to now. Lies ghost a fond anecdote. Fall brought challenge. Economic dip hit foundation funding. Grants slashed. Board pressures mounted. Gabe's sleep frayed. Old arrogance resurfacing in clipped tones. I can't fail them. He'd mutter. Pacing. I mediated brainstorm sessions over paella. Leveraging my networks for donors. Crisis forged unity. A gala we co-chaired raised records. Toasts to partners in purpose. Winter holidays glowed extended family under one roof. His parents now doting grandparents. Connecticut chill thawed by turkey warmth. Elias's school play, tiny shepherd stealing scenes. Gabe filming misty-eyed. Our legacy walks. He whispered post-curtain. Spring 2033, Mia's first words, love you. Papa melted us. Travels to heritage sites, my abuela's old Bronx haunts. Gabe's Yale shadows reclaimed as triumphs. Kids absorbed stories. Empathy budding early. Summer storm. Elias's bullying at school taunts of two dads weird. Heartbreak hit. We navigated with counselors. Teaching pride. Different is our superpower. He emerged fiercer. Drawing family portraits with capes for all. Fall milestone. Foundation's decade mark. Global conference. Gabe's address. Elias and Mia on stage. Symbolized succession. This work endures through them. Winter cozied recovery snow forts. Hot cocoa debates on life's fairness. Pain teaches. Gabe reflected. Elias asleep on chest. Spring 2034. Elias's science fair wind volcano model echoing echoes spark. Pride swelled. Gabe's note, your analytics in mini. Summer adventure, cross-country train. National Parks Odyssey. Yosemite's grandeur humbled. Gabe proposed family vow renewal under sequoias, still trembling with you. Fall deepened roots community garden plots. Kids' hands in soil mirroring growth. Winter trials, Gabe's minor car accident. Fender bender panic. Hospital wait revived health scare echoes. Clean bill brought gratitude feasts. Spring 2035, Mia's preschool debut. Shy smiles conquering. Foundation launched kid programs. Our duo mentoring mini mentors. Yet undercurrents. Midlife whispers Gabe at 35 pondering legacy beyond work. What if we travel full-time? Retreats to think, Bali beaches. Italian hills. Souls recharging. Summer decision, sabbatical year. Sold brownstone. Norrented. Embarked RV life across Americas. Kids homeschooled in wonders, Mayan ruins. Amazon canopies. Fall 2035, nomadic bliss Elias journaling stars. Mia befriending locals. Gabe's blog, wanderings of a thawed heart. Winter southern escapes, Mexico warmth. Family reunions with my kin. Spring 2036, return reinvigorated. Foundation evolved with global arms. Summer settled, new upstate home. Acres for dreams orchard. Studio. Fall harvest, first apples. Pies shared with neighbors. Community woven. Winter holidays, fireside tales. Elias's guitar strums. Mia's dances. Spring forward, teens on horizon. But for now, innocence preserved. Gabe and I. Silver threading hair. Still stole moments porch kisses. Love you more wars. Time's gift, a love that trembled into eternity. By 2040, the calendar's turn felt surreal. Gabriel at 40. Me 38. Elias 13 navigating braces and crushes. Mia 11 with soccer cleats and sass. Our upstate haven thrived. Foundation remote now. Impact global via apps, echoing voices worldwide. Gabe's second book, Tremors of Tomorrow, chronicled our family's odyssey. Bestseller again. Proceeds funding scholarships. Summer that year sizzled with Elias's first crushed timid notes to classmate Jamie. Omega like Gabe. We coached gently, hearts honest. Kid. Own it. His coming out chat over ice cream, like you and Dad. Gabe teared. Hugging fierce, exactly. Proud forever. Fall brought Mia's rebellion teen sparks early. School skips for art alleys. World's canvas. She'd defend. Spray cans in hand. We channeled mural projects with Foundation youth. Her talent blooming into exhibits. Winter cozied introspections. Gabe's annual retreat. Solo cabin weeks. Emerging with poetry journals. Aging's thaw too. He'd share. Lines of silver in beard endearing. Spring 2041, family trip to D.C. Monuments mirroring journeys. Lincoln's gaze on resilience. MLK's words on love's arc. Summer crisis, climate floods hit Foundation sites. Haiti hardest. We mobilize. Gabe leading relief. Me logistics. Kids virtual fundraisers. Elias's viral video, teen plea for aid. Millions donated. Your heart in action. Gabe beamed. Fall recovery, rebuilds inspired resilience programs. Our family volunteering on site. Hands dirty with hope. Winter holidays, global kin via Zoom. Toasts to survival. Spring 2042, Elias's bar mitzvah blended faiths our norm. Ceremony weaving Jewish roots from Gabe's side with Latino Catholic echoes. Vows of justice rang true. Summer adventures, Europe backpack Paris cafes. Rome ruins. Kids absorbing history's heartbeats. Fall deepened academics. Mia's debate team star. Elias coding apps for eco-trackers. Winter storms, literal and figurative. Gabe's knee surgery post-flood strain. Recovery walks with Kane's comical. Alpha's turn to lean. I teased. His grump melting to gratitude. Spring 2043, Mia's first period. Birds and bees redux with tears and tampons. Body's ally. Gabe affirmed. Sharing Omega wisdoms. Summer milestone, 20th anniversary vow renewal in original Brooklyn garden. Kids officiating. Friends toasting. From pretend to profound. Fall philanthropy peak, Foundation's UN recognition. Gabe's TED Talk, love's algorithm, cracking cold codes. Winter reflections, family game nights. Elias's guitar now band-bound. Mia's murals gallery-bound. Spring 2044, empty nest previews. Elias college scouts. Mia high school looms. Our birds fledging. Gabe mused. Bittersweet. Summer sends Elias to MIT. Dorm drops tearful. Call anytime. Hugs lingered. Fall voids filled. Mia's senior year whirl. Us mentoring Foundation interns. Travels duo Japan. Zen gardens soothing. Winter holidays. Kids home. Chaos cherished. Spring 2045. Mia's graduation. Yale-bound like Gabe. Cycle poignant. Wings ready. He whispered. Cap toss skyward. Summer sabbatical redux. Asia loop. Philosophy's pondered karmas echoes in our arc. Fall 2045. Grandparent pangs Elias's girlfriend visits. Talks of futures. Roots and wings. We advised. Winter warms. First Grammy whispers. But for now. Joys in now. Gabe and I. Lines etched by laughter. Still trembled in delight. In depth. 2047 dawned with Elias's wedding 22. To Jamie. Ceremony lakeside upstate. Our home backdrop. Gabe walked him down aisle. Voice thick. From my thaw to your bloom. Vows echoed ours. Rings glinting. Mia. 19. Maid of honor. Toasted love's legacy. Summer receptions flowed into honeymoons. We gifted cabin weeks. Solitude's echo. Fall brought Mia's engagement to artist Lena. Gallery whirlwind romance. Soul's mural. She gushed. Planning fused creativity, mural altars. Paint splattered joys. Winter 2048, double weddings. Now staggered. Mia's spring in Soho lofts. Urban chic. Spring nuptials, tears anew. Gabe's speech. Pretend sparked this dynasty of hearts. Summer settled, grandkids horizon. But travel's first African safaris. Kids echoes in elephant herds. Fall philanthropy, Foundation's 25th. Gala honoring us Gabe's induction to halls of changemakers. Winter holidays, burgeoning family Elias and Jamie announce pregnancy. Ultrasound shared fireside. Our thaw's next chapter. Gabe wept joy. Spring 2049, baby prep nursery builds. Names debated, Theo. After Gabe's uncle. Summer arrival, Theo Hale Rivera. Blue-eyed like grandpa. Cries conquering hearts. Holding him. Gabe trembled. Full circle. Alex. From cold to cradle. Fall deep in duties, weekend grandparenting. Story times of the elevator man. Winter cozies, Theo's first snow. Bundled laughs. Spring 2050, Mia's twins Luca and Sophia double blessing. Chaos quadrupled. Summer overload, for under 5. Park picnics pandemonium pure. Fall adjustments, foundation board passes to Elias. Legacy seamless. Winter milestones, Theo's steps toward Nana Gabe. Yet trials tempered, Gabe's 50th. Health check flags prostate vigilance. Scares past, but shadows linger. We're veterans. I remind. Scans clear. Spring recoveries, yoga retreats. Bodies honoring time. Summer 2051, family reunion Megatu states. 3 generations. Tents and tales. Fall reflections, memoir trilogy complete. Gabe's echoes eternal. Winter launches, bestseller. Tours with grandkids cameos. Spring 2052, Luca's first words, love, echoing origins. Summer adventures, beach weeks. Sandcastles of dreams. Fall philanthropies, global summits. Gabe mentoring elders now. Winter holidays, ever-expanding table. Toasts to endurance. Gabe and I. 52 and 50. Silver-maned. Still porch swinged, tremble less. Love more. Times we've tightened. Threads unbreakable. 2055 marked silver anniversary, 25 years wed. Gala intimate, kids. Grands. Core kin. Vows renewed lakeside dawn. You saw my heart tremble. Claimed it. Mine forever. Rings refitted. Tears timeless. Summer travels. Grandkids first Europe Elias's teens now. Theo's 6 mischief master. Fall challenges. Mia's divorce Lena's wanderlust clashing. Amicable but aching. Hearts shift. Gabe counseled. Custody co-parenting modeled. Winter heals. Family therapies. Bonds reforged stronger. Spring 2056. Theo's school playtiny alpha roaring lines. Gabe directing proud. Summer floods redux, climate aid rallies. Grants volunteering. Legacy lived. Fall triumphs. Foundation's Nobel Nobel Peace Prize for Equity echoes. Winter celebrations, Oslo trips. Kids awed by auroras. Spring 2057, Luca and Sophia's birthdays. Twin telepathy dazzling. Summer sabbaticals, Gabe and I. Empty-ish nest. Iceland geysers gushing like youth. Fall memoirs, joint book, tandem tremors. Our duet tale. Winter launches, charts topped. Talks packed with kindred spirits. Spring 2058, Elias's second child daughter Nora family septupled. Summer overloads, park reunions. Laughter legions. Fall philanthropies, Nora's fund seated at birth. Winter holidays, hearth full. Stories spun eternal. 2060, Gabe's 60. Me 58 health walks daily. Hearts hail. Summer reflections, cabin retreats. Lies anniversary laughed over. Fall legacies, foundation autonomous. Ours advisory whispers. Winter joys, great-grand whispers. Early. But dreams dance. Spring forward, Theo's teen crushes. Advice echoed from youth. Summer adventures, family cruises. Seas of stories. Fall awards, lifetime honors. Gabe's from frost to flame. Winter closes, fireside. Grands nestled. Once upon a pretend. Time's finale neared. But love's arc eternal arrogant cold, thawed by a partner's gaze. Heart trembling into legacy's warm embrace. In every dawn, we chose again, vulnerability's valor. Connection's conquest. And in that choice, meaning bloomed proof that even fabricated sparks ignite undying fires. Warming worlds beyond our own.